How would you feel if you got completely taken away from your family, leaving them alone and scared? Well, just last year, over 225,000 immigrants got deported and taken away from their families, when the only reason they were in the United States was to leave the poverty and conflict in their country and to raise their family somewhere safe. But with the current immigration laws, it has made it very difficult, nearly impossible, to even get into the United States. And these laws need to be revised for a shortened period of processing and more visas and green cards given per year. So, what is immigration? Immigration is when somebody moves permanently into a foreign country. For example, if someone moved from a different country into the United States. Currently in the United States, there are 37 million immigrants, and only about 1 million moving in per year. And it may sound like a lot, but in perspective, in the United States, there are 400 million people, and only 1 million per year barely makes a dent in that. But all of these immigrants, to even be a citizen in the United States, need to fill out their paperwork, which all starts out with getting your visa. A visa is paperwork that allows you to be in the United States temporarily, and there are many types. There are family, travel, employment, visitation, refugee, many more. But they all have their time span, and that time span can range from 3 years to down to a month. And it may sound nice, but getting a visa is only a temporary solution to a long-term problem. And for it only being temporary, it's very difficult to even obtain a visa. It all starts out with the paperwork, which can take months to even file for. And then after that, you have to take an interview, and then pay $100 to $300, and then you have a slight chance of getting a visa. And because the government only hands out a few per year. But most of these immigrants want to be here long term, which means that they have to file for their green card. A green card is paperwork that allows you to stay in the United States permanently, and it takes a lot longer to file for. It all starts out with applying for your visa, which, like I said before, can take months. And then if you do obtain a visa, you first have to make sure you're eligible for a green card, which means that you have your visa, your fees are paid, your paperwork's turned in, and a ton more criteria. And that's not it. There's more. First, you gotta fill out the immigration petition, which is a ton more paperwork, which takes even longer to fill out. Then you go back to the visa center, you take another interview, and then you can finally apply for your green card. And then after that, you have a slight chance of getting one, because the government only hands around 500,000 out a year, which seems like a lot, but there's a lot of people wanting to come into the United States. And this process can take a long time. For some, it can take years. And that's why in the United States, we have so many illegal immigrants. The illegal immigrants don't have time to fill out and go through all the processes. They are trying to escape their country, to leave the poverty, leave the conflict, so they can raise their family somewhere safe, somewhere where they're not threatened. Like Manuel. Manuel was a husband and a father of 3 sons. He was an illegal immigrant from Mexico. He escaped his country to avoid the conflict and to save his wife. One morning, his son Alex got up. Him and his 2 brothers went to school. It was a normal day for Alex. He even had his first football game that night. He couldn't wait to be standing there on the field, looking in the stands, see his mother and father cheering for him. But when he got back home from school, he found his mother crying in the living room. He later found out that his father had been taken to the county jail, soon to the immigration detention, and later got deported back to Mexico. Manuel had left his wife and his 3 sons alone and defenseless in the United States. And I can see where some people believe that we shouldn't be letting so many people come into our country. But how can we ignore their cries of help, ignoring our own kind? We need to revise the laws so we don't leave more families like Manuel's, lost and broken. Thank you.